Okay, we're continuing through this book here, The Holy Grail of Wisdom Quotes by me, Pete Rogers. We're going in alphabetical order. We're on the letter G. Just a couple quick quotes. Ava Gardner, the actress, she said, "Deep down, I'm pretty superficial." John Gardner, the novelist, talking about writer technique and approach to writing a novel. "If a writer understands that stories are first and foremost stories, and that the best stories are set off by a vivid and continuous dream, he can hardly help but become interested in technique, since it is mainly bad technique that breaks the continuousness and checks the growth of the fictional dream." What I would say about this is, the way you write a story should be just how you would tell the story to your friend. Because that gets you into an intelligent friend, somebody you like, that gets you, how you want to play and you want to joke with a friend. That's how you should write. That's how you should talk. That's how you should speak when you make a video. That's my main philosophy. I read tons and tons of stuff of writing, but that's the best guide to it. Okay, so John Gardner continues. "He quickly discovers that when he unfairly manipulates his fiction, pushing the characters around by making them do things they wouldn't do on their own if they were free of him, or laying on the symbolism so that the strength of the fiction is diminished, too much of its energy going into the mere intellect, or breaking in on the action to preach, the writer by these clumsy moves impairs his fiction. To notice such faults is to begin to correct them." Yeah, and that ability to notice faults and correct stuff, that's like metacognition. Okay, so that's John Gardner from his book on becoming a novelist. And then the next one is a lady novelist named Elizabeth Gaskell from the 1800s. Just a couple quick quotes by her. "A man is so in the way in the house. I will not listen to reason. Reason always means that someone else gets to speak." And that's like the power of a wife. She don't gotta listen to reason. She don't gotta show, stinking badges. Okay, here's William Gass. This is kind of a grouchy guy, but he's a little funny. He's a writing teacher, writer. He said, "I am firmly of the opinion that people who cannot speak have nothing to say. It is one more thing we do to the poor, the deprived, to cut out their tongues and allow them a language as lousy as their life." So what I'm getting at with this one is, it's been my experience. I do have some experience with people who have been in different situations where they have been treated unfairly, let's say at their job or in some other part of their life. And the people who are not articulate, they get screwed pretty bad because they don't have any money, they can't hire a lawyer, or they can't hire a good lawyer, and they don't have the ability to write themselves. So they can't really defend themselves very well, and they get screwed over. They really get screwed over. It's not a joke. So it's really worth your while to be able to write well, because you can then argue your situation. Okay, I've had times in my life where people were pretty unfair to me, and I researched the thing backwards and forwards to prepare myself. I went through a thing where I read the legal books, etc., and I wrote my own letters, and I can tell you it was very helpful to me. That ability to write is a good thing, and to understand what writing is all about. It makes the cost of messing with you a lot higher. Okay, so we're going to continue with William Gass. Okay, he's got a couple other quotes here. Okay, I realize this William Gass is a little crazy and he's a grouch, but still, there's something to be said for what he's saying here. He says, "Fiction becomes visual by becoming verbal." Okay, yeah, write like you would speak. "Getting even is one reason for writing. The censor pretends he is protecting tender hearts, shielding children from sex and violence, keeping the righteous path by preserving virtue. But how does he do it? By burning books, by threats of violence, by tearing out tongues, through torture and imprisonment, feeding the people a false and wicked philosophy, used to preserve his privileges and to hoodwink the world." Yeah, that's what you see. That's what you see in the modern world. You're not allowed to tell the truth, because to tell the truth would be competitive business, okay? There's a lot of industries that are like that. The ones that got the money to be that way, that's how they are, okay? Notice that somebody makes a video about Gerson, it gets taken down, okay? That's how it is. They don't want no competition. Okay, let's see, William Gass. "I write because I hate hard a lot. Writing is a way to get even." Okay, "Eloquence is power." Okay, that's William Gass. So yeah, he's a grouchy old guy, but he was making the point that being able to write gives you some increased power a little bit in this difficult world. Hope you found that interesting or helpful.